Hey, I'm Wally Adamczyk, president of Firestarter Speaking and Consulting, and welcome to Construction Leadership from A to Z. We're going to spend 27 if you count this session, sessions together talking about the words in this book, which are words to lead by. So here we go. I've written 2 books on leadership. My doubting self wonders if books on leadership are like cookbooks. You know, they get purchased, looked at once, and then shelved for posterity. My positive self knows the study of leadership is an ongoing process. It's a journey of discovery, of self, of others, and of emerging ideas on the subject. My business consultant self knows my earlier book was called one of the best business books of the year by Entrepreneur Magazine. I know from my consulting work that people are thirsty for quality leadership and they're looking for help. In bringing this book to the digital world, I'm doing my part to bring content to people in as many forms as possible. This is also available as a podcast. I wish I could tell you that you hold in your hands, your digital hands, a completely revolutionary approach to leadership, one that will change your life. Alan Weber, founding editor of Fast Company magazine, knows you'd like to shake things up at work. He said, "It is true that management in the US has a tendency to look for silver bullets and fads." Well, there are no silver bullets here. In fact, you've probably seen most of this ammunition before. You've seen it before, and there's the problem. Brain research confirms that when we see something repeatedly, we tend not to pay attention to it anymore. When we hear the same story over and over again, it fails to resonate with us the way it did the first time. These words and concepts you will read are ones you may have seen before, but do not discount them. Your challenge is to see them again for the very first time. The bigger challenge is to apply them in your life now. Like many authors, I plodded along on this book for a while. Then I witnessed an exchange between a consultant and the CEO of my biggest and most important client. The consultant was discussing a presentation he had just delivered to the staff of this organization. It wasn't a bad presentation, really. In fact, it was rather like a dress rehearsal for a presentation to be given several months later to nearly 1,000 managers of this company. I was in the room because I was the content manager for the event. The CEO made a minor comment about some wording the consultant had used. The consultant replied that he recognized that the wording might not be quite right, but when he wrote his book 13 years ago, that was the wording he had chosen, and he hadn't changed it since. The conversation ended soon after, and the consultant left, happy with his performance. The CEO fired him that afternoon. The comment from the CEO to me was, "He wrote a book 13 years ago. What? He hasn't done anything since then to stay current?" Hey, things change. People change. We learn and we evolve. Situations change. Legendary motivational speaker, the late Charles E. Tremendous Jones, said, 5 years from now, you'll be the same person you are today, except for the books you read and the people you meet. Surely this consultant had read some books and met some people. The CEO expected him as a professional to continue to develop his material, and he didn't. And this brings us to you. Are you like that consultant, or do you recognize the truth spoken by Charlie Jones? Since you hold this book in your digital hands, I presume the latter. I know you are busy and face competing demands for your time every day. With that in mind, I have written this in a manner that will allow you to watch or listen to a chapter in about 10 or 15 minutes. The end of chapter questions for reflection might take some time if you're really digging in. My God, it'd be a great idea if you had a journal and you did every chapter. The only sequence is the alphabet, but you can start wherever you want. And I didn't select these words. I merely developed a list of possible titles for each letter and then surveyed people like you, leaders and managers out there in the trenches of the construction industry every day. The words you will read about are qualities that resonated with learners and leaders like yourself. One thing we know about leaders is they make new leaders. This series is ideal for helping you do that. In fact, in the chapter Genuine, you will read about a book club that one company created to help develop its people. This layout gives you 26 sessions of leadership conversations. If you do one every other week, you have a year of learning. These sessions can be done over lunch and in small groups. They don't require a lot of money, but the payoff can be substantial. Whether you read chapters alone or within a group, the challenge is clear. Are you getting better at what you do? What are you learning? What changes are you making to be more successful in the coming years? As we enter the post-COVID period of the 21st century, we need better leaders. The demands are great, but they are not insurmountable. In fact, people and firms are beating them every day. Of course, these companies are led at every level by strong, flexible leaders who choose to continue to learn and grow. I'm making the journey with you. Research for this project confirmed much of what I knew, but I also picked up some new ideas and did some self-improvement work along the way. I hope the same happens for you. Let me know. And I guess it's time to get started on the second 26. I look forward to this journey with you.